And good morning, Princeton and Caldwell County, and welcome to Tiger Sports Talk with DT and Gator, and sponsored by Trice Hughes Chevrolet. We have another outstanding show set up for today. Got some very special guests that will be visiting us here in the studio at 103.3 The Tiger. But before we get into our interviews, DT, let's go back last weekend and kind of recap two of the major events that went on, Dotson Days and the Jake Hodge Foundation Wiffle Ball Tournament. I know you spent a lot of time up at Dotson Days, and I had the opportunity to go out to Ken and Katie's to Little Bush Stadium and watch some wiffle ball. So tell us what your experiences was last weekend.
Oh, I had a great time, as I always do. I went up to my favorite place right beside the ball court, so I didn't have to walk too far. But I was with Brown and Dickie Pettigrew and some of my other buddies, and you won't believe who showed up. And he went to school with Janie, Bootsy Watkins.
I'll be darned. Yeah.
He and I remembered him from wrestling and winning the state. Bobby Franklin and Larry Curley and all them said that they played with him and how good a wrestler and football player and all that he was. They said he was a little ornery, but there's a lot of them that are ornery. I'd rather coach an ornery one than a babysitter anyway. But I had a great time. We spent a lot of time. I helped Brown set up a few tents, and we rolled around. We had a lot of good food and good camaraderie. And
did you get to watch the Dirt Bowl any?
I watched some of it. I didn't watch a lot of it. We sat on the other side of his house, and when it rained them out, I left and went home for a while. And when they went down to the Butler building and played, and when I came back, they still weren't back.
I bet that brought back a lot of memories of playing in the Butler with them.
A lot of those kids, I'm sure they enjoyed playing there, but they had a lot of vendors up there. Raymond and Janina had placed a lot of vendors up there, and they were trying to make a little money, and so when they went to the Butler building, they didn't get to sell a lot of things, so they brought them back for the last hour or so, and it ended up they finished it up at Dotson. So it was a great time. I got to see a lot of people. One of the players that was played when I was a junior, Larry Willoughby and Alex Willoughby were in town, both of them, and then I met another fella that I might not even say, but I got us a guest for the Trigg County.
Okay.
We're going to be a surprise.
We know who he is.
We don't want anybody. We have a surprise guest. That way they'll have to listen.
Yes. Well, thank you, Dennis. And I was able to go out and view the wiffle ball tournament. I had a lot of company in last weekend. My daughter Meredith and her family from northern Kentucky was down visiting, but Saturday afternoon I took my son-in-law Chris Shoemate and my grandson Gates out to the wiffle ball tournament, and got to view some of the play out there and visit with a lot of people, and especially with Dennis Hodge and his wife and his mom and dad, Chris and Keith Hodge. And Chris has really done an outstanding job with this foundation. She has really taken the bull by the horns, as you want to call it, and spearheaded it up. And I know their goal was to make over 25,000 or make 25,000, and I think at the last count they were almost at 27,000. So it's just an outstanding thing that they do, and Ken and Katie Parker are so gracious to let them hold that event out there. And of course they had all kinds of concessions, and my grandson, he liked the horses. He wanted to go over and look at the horses that Ken has out there. But it was an outstanding tournament. On Sunday, WPKY did stream the final game of the wiffle ball tournament, and Bob Hayes did an outstanding job along with Jordan Dunn. And we're very fortunate to be able to view something like that. The final was between I'm not going to say the old guys, but the older group against the young group. And I think it was Ken Parker's team and Wayne McGowan and Bradley Stallings and Donald McGregor, and they were playing against Ken Parker's son and a lot of those younger guys. And I think the younger team won by one run, didn't they, Jordan, I believe? And it was a good ball game to watch. And
I thought older team came back and won.
The older team, okay.
Yeah,
I missed the end of it.
There's an old man walking in front of us.
Yeah, we
here.
do. We got an old man coming in the door right now. But we had a great time, and it's a great cause. The scholarships that they get out of this tournament is just, astounding. And they got Crittenden County and Caldwell, Line, and Livingston, and I think they're expanding it to Trick County, and it really benefits a lot of kids and to go on and further their education. And Chris indicated, Dennis's mother indicated that they'd like to eventually make those 4-year scholarships, and as long as they keep holding events like that, and I think they're going to, be really successful. As I mentioned earlier, we got some very special guests with us, and we're going to get right to that right now. We got with us Dexter Lander, former player of mine back in 1986, my first year at Caldwell County. Of course, Dexter's the son of Pat Lander, who is a longtime educator here in Caldwell County and very involved with the community disciples. And Dexter, we're glad to have you, and kind of catch us up to date on what you've been doing and what you're doing now, some of your family aspects, and just get us started rolling here.
Well, good morning. Back in Princeton, Kentucky for a couple of days, and actually in Washington, D.C., working at George Washington University, and over transportation and fleet and maintenance, and seemed like the police department also. So doing that, so trying to and kind of commuting between D.C. and Lexington, Kentucky now. So,
what brings you to Lexington? You've lived in several places here in the last few years, and now you've made the move to Lexington. Tell us.
It seems like I'm in the Army, all the moving I've done in my career. My wife is there. She works for University of Kentucky, so she just got back there in April. And actually, we just got a little son 2 months today, so we adopted. So we've got him.
Congratulations!
Yeah, so that was exciting. It's a blessing to have a son, and actually I have a 22-year-old too that's out in California now. So he's in college and working full time at Nike too. So he's a busybody too. So
keeping you busy.
Yeah, between 22 and 2 months, that's a
big difference. Yeah, it sure is. Dexter is married to Kyra Elsie. For you listeners and viewers out there, and she was the assistant coach at the University of Tennessee the last few years, and she's made the move now over to the University of Kentucky under Matthew Mitchell, and we know that she's known for being an outstanding recruiter, and of course she was had a tremendous career. I believe she played at Oldham County High School, and she received a scholarship to the University of Tennessee and played under Pat Summitt. And tell us a little bit about Kyra and some of the things that y'all are involved with.
Well, it seemed like being involved in a lot of stuff. So when we was in Knoxville, we were heavily involved with Coach Summitt's the Pat Summitt Foundation, so we are still going to do that even though she's deceased. So we're going to keep doing that work. So we did SEC Challenge every year where based on how many games that the Lady Vols would win during the SEC time. And so we pledged some money toward each game that they won, and then also I had other people do the same thing. So I think last year we raised about $25,000-$30,000 last year during the SEC Challenge, and we'll move that to Lexington and do that there. So that's what we was doing there in Knoxville, and hopefully we can do that again in Lexington also.
Who is the head coach in Lexington now, the girls' head coach?
Matthew Mitchell. So
that's right.
Yeah, he's still there, so he's been there for probably about 8 or 9 years.
Is that the one I saw in the paper? Is that his daughter that? No, that was something else. Never mind. That was something else.
Well, this is not her first stint at the University of Kentucky, is it?
No, this is her second stint. So she was there 4 years before she went to Tennessee for 4. So now she's back in Kentucky and close to home. So that's a good thing. And she's probably about an hour away, and I'm about 3 hours away. So it's good to be back home. So I can probably get back to Princeton a whole lot more. So it's a pretty quick little shot from Lexington.
That's good to see you. We're going to have to bring up a few old times. We're ready for a break. We're ready for a break. I'm going to think up some more good things to tell on Dexter.
So here we go.
On the radio.
We'll be right back.
So you're sitting at home, relaxing after a hard day at work. You would like to shop for a vehicle, but simply didn't have the time today. Well, thanks to modern technology and your friends at Trice Hughes, you can pick out the perfect vehicle, get an estimated trade-in value, and even submit a credit application from the comfort of your living room. Visit TriceHughes.com, and in just a few short minutes, you could be on your way to a new car, truck, or SUV. Trice Hughes Incorporated makes it simple to shop from the comfort of your own home. That's TriceHughes.com, Highway 91 North in Princeton.
Back here on Tiger Sports Talk with Gator and DT, we have Dexter Lander in the studio here. And Dexter, let's go back and tell us about your playing career. One thing that I will mention that I thought Dexter, the type of role model he was and the intelligence he had, I just knew he was going to be a teacher and a coach. And, not only that, but he wound up marrying a coach, so at least your spouse is one, and you're still involved in athletics. But let's talk a little bit about your playing career here at Caldwell County. You were on my first team in 1986, 30 years ago. Can you believe it's been 30 years?
God, we getting old, y'all looking young.
Hey, wait a minute. You buttoned me out again, Gator. He used to do that all the time. At the banquets, I could never explain anything. Dexter, we're going to start back before he even got here. Coach Hughes and myself and Mr. Coach G were coaching then. Coach G was coaching. And Dexter, he was a slow, maturing young man. If I remember correctly, you weren't very tall, and your feet were about 12s for probably all your career or more, bigger. And I had just moved back here myself, so Coach Hughes was more involved with it than I was. But I do remember one day Coach G came in our fine, pretty smelling blue room we used to go dress in, and he leaned over to Richie and he said, "Richie, you need to try to talk Dexter into being a manager, because you really were small, you were slow. No offense, but you were." And this is the proof right here to all the kids that are listening, which I'm sure they're not now; they're in school. But Dexter proved that you do not need to let anybody go. You need to keep everybody in the program, because someday it's going to happen. But Richie told him, he said, "I'm not telling him, Coach, you tell him." And he said, "Well, I'm just afraid his mother's going to kill us all if he gets hurt." And so it wasn't because you didn't try and you didn't play. It was just he was afraid Pat was going to kill us all if you got hurt. But I tell you what, his senior year, he ended up being the best receiver we had, and he ended up going to Murray and playing football. So what the key to anything is, football is a sport to where they call themselves. If they want to stay there, let them stay. Let them all play. Don't any program that cuts people in football, something's wrong with them. But because Dexter is living proof right here. He did a great job in college as well as high school. We appreciate it, Dexter.
Yeah, thank you. I know. We had our times with Coach G, but it was fine, but it was good. And then when Coach Gates came and, he changed the culture of our program, and we needed that because we were, kind of down and out. I mean, we had some good guys that came through Caldwell County, and but he came in, and after he was at the Crittenden County and gave us a good culture change. And as you see from his career here at Caldwell County, it really stuck, and all the work y'all did too.
Well, thank you, Dexter. We appreciate it.
Yeah, Dexter, we appreciate that and the opportunity to work with you out there. And, as I look back 30 years ago, when I came over here, didn't very many people give us a chance that first season to be very successful. And we came out, we had some outstanding players and leadership, senior leadership. We had Junior McGowan, just an outstanding player for us. And of course, we had Davis Stevens as our quarterback. He was a junior that year, I believe. And we had the three amigos out there at the wide receiver and tight end positions. We had you and Byron Copeland and Randy Bruce. And, we didn't run the ball real well at times, but we could throw it. And that's a credit to Coach Tomic. And the way he worked with David Stevens and those receivers, we were really blessed. And, I can remember DT. I said, "Man, we can't run it. You're gonna have to call some pass plays," and he did, and we sure appreciate that.
Yeah, and then when we wouldn't work, you look at me and go, "What else you gonna do?" So, but no, it was a great time. We put that in. We threw every day in practice. Everybody had a big time, and it worked rather well. It wasn't me, that was for sure. These kids did it all, but we had fun, and I truly think David Stevens probably had as good an arm as anybody's ever come through here.
He really did.
He worked at it, and he could chuck that ball. I remember back in the day, now I can't hardly brush my teeth, but back in the day, he and I would throw together, and he could zip it. He would put it to us. But it's not about me. It's about Dexter.
Yeah, that's right. And Dexter went on to Murray State. Tell us about your experiences there at Murray State.
Well, the first year I got my first the freshman year, I broke my collarbone in practice, and I didn't even know it was broke. I actually just woke up one night and after practice, and my shoulder was just throbbing. So I think I got up middle of the night, took some aspirin, went back to sleep, still couldn't sleep. Then I called our trainer and said, "Hey," I think my shoulder is hurt. So they said, "Okay, we'll come over to the training room and we'll go out to the hospital." And they called an orthopedic surgeon middle of the night. He came in, he said, "Oh, you got a hairline fracture." So that was pretty much the end of my first season. And after that, did a lot of special teams my first few years, and then my junior, senior year got a lot of playing time after that. But it was, real good experience, lifetime of friendship with a bunch of guys. Actually, when I did get married 4 years ago, my best friend was on the team. So
that's great.
So that was a good thing. But glad I went to Murray. Wasn't too far from home, and it was just real funny. My freshman year, look up and had my mom and grandfather, grandmother, and uncle was at practice. So I said I almost should have left and a little bit farther so they couldn't just jump in the car and drive. So I should have went to Louisville or somewhere a little bit longer. But it was a good experience.
Good to say, but that's great. Now that you know they were there, that was wonderful.
Oh yeah, it was great. But it was always good to play here, play for you all, and just like I said, it was a good culture change, and we loved it. I can remember probably our first team meeting. Coach Gates, he was like, "Hey, I don't care who y'all are, what happened the previous years, but we're going to work." And we worked real hard that year and that summer. I tell you what, we ran so much. I think I ran more that summer than I did the whole time I was at Murray. So
we were going to be in shape.
We were in shape because we played.
One of my big deals has always been, or was always, not to get beat in the fourth quarter because we were out of shape.
Yeah.
And we ran that hill, and we conditioned well over the years, and and that's a credit to you. You set the tempo for that 86 team, and just had an outstanding career for us, and we're awful proud of you, and we're glad that you turned out to who you are.
Well, it's a credit to you all. So it starts at home, and it always takes a village to run everyone. But I tell you one thing, even though we were in shape, we play both ways.
Yeah.
It's like now you go to these games and it's almost like college.
Oh yeah.
They play just offense and just play defense, and we play both ways. We play special teams. I mean, it was okay.
Most of the time, you didn't ever come off the field.
You didn't come off the field.
Once you got off the bus, if you were dressed, you played.
That was it.
But we had to have you, and you all knew it. And so that mean a lot. That's what you were out there for, though.
Yeah,
was to play.
We might have got mad if you did take us out.
That's right. Some of them did.
Yeah.
But nobody was ever in the game that I can ever remember on any teams we've ever had just for statistics. No. They all just wanted to play.
All about the team, and
every one of them.
No individual accolades, or everyone played for each other, and togetherness that we had, and you set that tempo there in that first season, and we just had an outstanding season, and to go 5-5, and we were close to being 7-3. There was a couple games we lost right at the end that we probably could have won, but the kids never quit, and they just kept striving for excellence, and we appreciate that and appreciate the job that you've done.
Mm-hmm. When we look back, too, though, we were not too much older than them at the time.
I was 28. I was 28, and he was 18,
now,
I guess.
Now, a little different.
They still look young, though. Y'all look younger than I do.
I don't know.
Oh, no.
But I remember that first game, though. We played Crittenden County.
I remember it too.
I didn't know if Coach Gates was going to come out and coach us. Just like to remember the Titans.
Yeah.
The coach is still in the locker room. We was out on the field ready to go, and it was like, "Where's Coach Gates?" So we know what he was doing. He's back there getting sick.
I think he was throwing up on Chemo's feet.
I was like, "Man, come on, we're going to play the game." So come on, you can't be that nervous. We're going to win the game. Don't worry about it. But I can understand. That was, first game.
Yep.
It was the first game after we came off a state championship there at Crittenden.
Coach was like that pretty much every game. He took it serious, and that was great.
Yeah.
Was great.
So that was totally different, but it was still fun all at the same time.
Yep.
Well, we're going to take a short break here and allow our sponsors to get a message in, and we'll be right back with Dexter Lander.
What does your service appointment at Trice Hughes do? Glad you asked. Here at Trice Hughes, we give a true 27-point inspection with each vehicle service. We change your oil, check fluids in your transmission, coolant system, power steering, washing fluid, and brakes. Then we inspect your tires, wiper blades, brakes, air filter, belts, hoses, drive boots, and exhaust system. Phew, that's a lot. Keeping your vehicle maintained at Trice Hughes in Princeton is your best chance of a long and happy vehicle life. Call today for your appointment, 270-365-5522, Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton. Trice Hughes in Princeton wants to remind everyone that we have a full line of genuine GM and Mopar parts and accessories for your car, truck, or SUV. We also offer Retrax bed covers. You have to see to believe how awesome they are. WeatherTech floor mats are a must for folks with little people and moms and dads that want to keep their entire carpet protected. Make your truck or SUV stand out with chrome accessories such as 20-inch wheels and tires, running boards, mirror covers, and door handles. Need a gift idea? Adding remote start will surely please your loved one. Call Shauna today for all your accessory needs. 270-365-5522. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton.
Back here at Tiger Sports Talk with DT and Gator, and as our guest, in-studio guest right now, we have Dexter Lander. We appreciate Dexter coming in. Of course, he is giving us a recap of what he's doing now and where he's living, and he's got an awful busy life, and we sure appreciate him coming in. Before I get back to him, Jordan handed me a list of some of the locations that our listeners and viewers was watching this last week, and I would like to let you know who they were, where they were from. We had them from Kentucky, Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, California. That must have been your daughter. Florida, Texas, Illinois, Colorado, and Indiana. And we're getting a lot of viewers and listeners to this program, and we appreciate that. Dexter, if we're going to wrap up here in just a second, but tell us a little bit more about what you're doing and what you have done, and what direction your life's going in.
Who was your head coach at Murray?
Mike Mahoney.
Mike Mahoney.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike.
I think Coach Beamer had just left Murray State to Virginia Tech.
Yeah, he's recruiting me then, and then I remember that phone call. He said, "Hey, I'm about to go to Virginia Tech." So that was in January.
Well, he stayed there a while.
And he just retired, so that was good and good for the program. And I know they seem like they could have the Murray State alums out there coaching now with Coach Foster, Coach Wiles, and Justin is the head coach there. So hopefully they will do well. Actually, I talked to Coach Wiles a little bit now since I played with him for 1 year, and he was there coaching.
Yeah.
Did you play with Justin Fuentes?
Mm-mm.
You did?
He came after I did.
Okay.
So.
He played under Coach Nutt, I believe.
He played with Coach Nutt, yeah, because he transferred in.
He's the new head coach at Virginia Tech, had a lot of success at Middle Tennessee, and, we feel like he'll probably do an outstanding job there for Coach Beamer.
Yeah, it's going to seem like they're very excited. I know I talked to Coach Wiles not too long ago during the spring, and they're very excited about the year, and hopefully they'll do well. Actually, they're doing real good in recruiting for this 2017 class. So I'm excited for them and Coach Foster. So hopefully they'll do well.
I just was reminiscing also about some of the times when you were here, and it was just a fun bunch of guys that we played with. I tell you what, when I couldn't wait, and of course Goat couldn't wait either. Every time we'd run that crackback block,
man.
that man weighed, what did he weigh,
Quick
100, 120 pounds? He weighed about 120 pounds. He was skinny just like his daddy was when he played, but man, he couldn't wait to go in there and crack back on one of those guys. I don't know if they can do that anymore.
I bet he didn't weigh 140,
I don't
50
even know
pounds.
if they let him do that anymore.
No.
But he was.
Well, it was legal. It was above the waist.
I know it, but he would flat hurt somebody. Then Dexter would catch that ball on that little swing, and he was adios. And Goat would just soon block as he would catch a ball. He didn't care.
He did.
That was what I liked about that group.
Right.
All of them.
Randy Bruce the same way.
Oh,
you know, we had three of the best receivers, or three of the better receivers that I coached, and and of course the quarterback made it go. And you can't say enough about Junior McGowan.
No.
You know, Junior
could play anywhere.
Oh man! And you talking about a hitter on defense? I know Coach Hughes loved Junior McGowan, and he
was the one guy that Coach Jack Morris said he wished he had two of our players. One of them was Chris Cochran, and one of them was Junior McGowan.
That's right, and what a compliment that was. And of course, we know with our battles with Mayfield over the years, they didn't turn out in our favor any, but. They had some outstanding teams over there and still do, And
they was down there red shirt and everybody.
And it's good.
They were all growing beards and mustaches when we were
But thank God we beat them my junior year.
That was wasn't it?
Wes Oaten kicked that field goal, and it was just pouring down rain down in Mayfield. Because I remember they tried to cancel that game.
Right.
They wanted to cancel it.
Ricky Robinson was on that team.
Ricky Robinson was on that game, on the team.
Trust me, I remember that team. They gave us the only loss at Crittenden County. And
we won 3 games.
You won 3, and 2 of them against 2 state champions.
So we beat Crittenden County and Mayfield. So that just shows that we had some talent. We just couldn't get it turned around our junior year. So
what a way to sing Coach G out.
Yeah, that was a great way.
T-shirt on. Remember when he took his shirt off? We won or something. I don't know what.
Yeah, so that was a very memorable game. Probably one of the best memorable games just to do that and win down there. Even though they didn't want to play, but we beat them.
That's another one of those situations I told when Wayne was here. I was up top. They didn't like it at all when I started yelling when we won that game, buddy. They were ill, let me tell you.
Yeah.
And I hustled on out of there.
Yeah. Well, Dexter, we really appreciate you coming in today, and we're glad you're here in Princeton on your visit. And, I'm glad your mother, Pat, allowed us to have this short time with you, and I know you need to spend as much time with her and your wife and your baby as much as possible. And just once again, what an outstanding young man you are, and you are definitely a good role model for our student athletes here, and we really appreciate you being here.
Well, thanks for inviting me, and hopefully I can get back home a whole lot more and get back on with you all.
We'd appreciate it.
Maybe you can get us some tickets to the UK women's games that you've got.
Hey, whenever you want it.
Dexter Lander was our guest this morning on the first segment. Let's go to some commercials, and we'll be right back with Coach David Barnes and Carl Copeland.
New car and truck buyers, listen up. It's the time of year that the 16s are rolling out and the 17s are rolling in. At Trice Hughes Incorporated, we offer 7 new American car lines to choose from, awesome trade-in allowances, end-of-the-year model rebates, and great financing options. Some people think they have to go out of town for a great deal. We think shopping in Princeton, Kentucky at Trice Hughes Incorporated might just be the best decision you ever make. Give Trice a try before you buy. And as always, if we don't have what you're looking for on our lot, we'll find it for you. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton. It's that time of year again. Soon leaves will be falling, football and deer season is right around the corner. And when those little critters get stirring around, sometimes our vehicles get in their way. Whenever that happens, Trice Hughes Incorporated hopes you remember our body shop to get you back on the road. We offer free estimates, 3-stage paint process that is guaranteed as long as you own your vehicle, and certified technicians that together offer 115 years of combined experience. We keep rental vehicles readily available, so even if your car is out of commission, you don't have to be. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton.
It's kickoff time again. Hello again, everyone. Brent Ladd with Trice Hughes Incorporated with another Pigskin Pick of the Week. This week's special is a 2015 Chrysler 300 Limited, black in color with only 27,000 miles, and it's only $18,995. That's right, Brent Ladd's Pick of the Week has leather heated seats, remote start, and sunroof for only $18,995, which is priced at $3,000 under NADA retail. Come see me, Brent Ladd, at Trice Hughes for this pick. Go Tigers.
Let's talk OnStar. Most GM vehicles, maybe even yours, are now equipped with OnStar. The benefits of OnStar are immeasurable when it comes to saving your life and the lives of your loved ones, helping locate your vehicle in the event that you can't, and navigating you when you are lost. OnStar offers automatic crash response that sends emergency responders to your location even if you can't speak. Stolen vehicle assistance will locate your vehicle immediately in the unfortunate case in which someone mistakes your vehicle for theirs. Turn-by-turn navigation is available to take you anywhere you want to go with the push of one blue button. And you can always stay connected when you activate OnStar 4G LTE and Wi-Fi hotspot on select vehicles. OnStar keeps you informed on your vehicle diagnostics and can even diagnose a problem as you are driving down the road. Activate OnStar on your eligible 2011 model year or newer vehicle today and get 3 months free plus 3 years free of their basic plan. Stop in Trice Hughes Incorporated today for details or assistance on your OnStar activation. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton. You already knew that Trice Hughes in Princeton has the #1 service department in Western Kentucky, but did you know that when it's time for a new set of tires, we have you covered for that also? Our tire experts, Jeff Brandon, Garrett Harper, and Kathy Capps, have a combined 84 years of experience, and they are ready to serve you on any make and model vehicle. You'll be surprised at our competitive pricing on name brands such as BF Goodrich, Michelin, Goodyear, Yokohama, Cooper, and Uniroyal. Trice Hughes is also the only tire dealer in town to offer the economy price Kenda brand tire. All tires are road force balanced, providing you with the most comfortable ride possible, and rotations are free as long as you own your tires. Call the tire experts at Trice Hughes today. Quotes are free and the deals are worth the call. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton.
Back here at WPKY 103.3 FM, the Tiger. And in our next segment here, we have two more very special guests with us. We've got the head football coach and athletic director at Caldwell County High School, David Barnes. And we got Carl Copeland, who is the Youth Incorporated football director. And first, I'd like to welcome you both, and we're glad that you came in today. Coach, we're just a week away. Can you believe it? A week and 1 day away to the opening of the high school football season. I know a lot of teams are opening up next Friday night, but we have to wait till Saturday night. And, tell us a little bit about what your team looks like right now.
Well, we'll get a better feel of how we are tonight. We scrimmage up at Butler County at 6 o'clock, and the biggest thing we've been fighting is the temperature and the weather and the heat and all that. With the heat index rule we got now, there's been days we haven't been able to get out full gear, and with the rules on how many practices you got to have, we're just right at the we just barely got enough practice to be able to scrimmage tonight. So we'll find out a lot tonight, and then open up next Saturday night against Coach Loveless and Christian County High School.
I've got a question for you. I was out working the other day, and I had a man stop me, and he said, I got a trivia question for you, DT. He said, I want you to find out for me how many people from Caldwell County have ever had a son and a grandson playing at the same time.
Are they in the same grade, aren't they?
No, one of them's a year older.
Okay.
Yeah. And that happened to be Mr. Billy Baker. I'm sure everybody knows him. But anyway, he was my age when we went to school and played each other in basketball down at Fredonia. But he told me, he said, now I'm a Tiger now, but I'm really a Yellow Jacket. So he doesn't know if you know of anybody that.
And of course, Coach Barnes is a Yellow Jacket too.
Well, I was going to ask you, did you go to elementary school down there?
Yeah, we were the first class, and when we consolidated, I was in. When we moved, we were the first class come up here.
Okay. And what grade? What?
7th grade.
7th grade.
7th grade. Well,
so you went to the beautiful old Butler building.
The beautiful Butler building, and Fredonia didn't have football, and it's the only way he's going to get to play football if you came to Caldwell County.
That's good. I had the opportunity to work with David's mother at Caldwell County High School for numerous years, Evelyn, and of course I see her and his father, Bill, at the fitness center. I miss seeing him now since I had my little episode. I hadn't been able to go back, but he would always keep us filled in on how David was, and more importantly, how your son is doing. So tell us a little bit about, what your son's doing now, and
He's coaching in Glasgow High School. This will be his 3rd year, and they scrimmaged.
Will Barnes is who I'm referring to.
And he's coaching there at Glasgow, and they scrimmaged at Russellville last night, and Russellville's got like 17 returners, and they put up 53 points against them and had a really good night offensively. And so I think they're looking to have a really good year. And I had the opportunity, to coach him, and it was something that's very special and something I won't ever forget. And with he and I, we had a great relationship, and something that, a lot of times you say it's not going to work as a father-son deal, but it worked, and it's something I'll never forget.
Well, that's great. That's tough. I went through.
Yeah, you went through it, Dennis.
I went through it myself, and my son played and wanted to play so bad, and this and that and the other, and then he hung in there for a while, and then he went to golf. But he had so many great friends that they all get together when he comes home, that played in that one class together, Andy Davis and all that bunch.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, Will's an outstanding young man, and I had a good relationship with him while I was out there at the high school, and he'd always pick my pro games for me on Sunday, and he was pretty doggone good at it too. So we're awful tickled about Will and his accomplishments, and I know how proud your parents are of you and all, but let's talk a little bit about this year's team. First of all, let's congratulate you on last season. What an outstanding year you had. I think you finished 10-3, and or was it 11?
10-3.
10-3, and just lost a heartbreaking game to Elizabethtown out here. But I think your team really overachieved, especially from the 3 previous seasons, and you had a new quarterback in there after having Elijah Sindelar for 3 years, and we got Shane Burns now as a sophomore, stepped right in and really hadn't missed a beat. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, Shane stepped into a situation where a lot of kids would have, with Elijah being our starter for 4 years and being Mr. Football his senior year and signing to go to Purdue to play quarterback. Shane did a great job for us, and the thing that he did, he came in, and Shane's type of kid, pressure doesn't bother him. He competes, he's a competitor, and that's why he's successful. But the thing, we were talking about this yesterday, is coaching stuff. That team we coached last year bought into everything we did. They were easy to coach. They came out and they worked hard every day, and we had 3 sophomore linebackers that had very little experience that came on as the year went on, and they're back this year, which is a big thing for us. Where we're really hurting right now, we graduated some real good offensive linemen, and if we can get that offensive line to come around, we'll be okay. We got some good skilled kids, and defensively, I think we'll be better than what we were last year. But offensively, it's going to be up to that offensive line how far we progress.
I've always said, back in the days, that if you got good skilled people, you can kind of hide those linemen at times, and they still got to be a cohesive group. Of course, I coached the line for years, and probably my best line I had was in 1996, and we had very young skilled people that year, and we got beat, I think, second round of the playoffs against Edmonson County. But I know you got some outstanding skill players returning, and you lost some pretty good ones. And of course, one of your major losses was D. Kane, who is now playing football at Western Kentucky University. And talk about the departures a little bit.
Well, if you go back to we lose Elijah Anderson at inside receiver, D, he's gone on to Western, and Josh Young, who did an outstanding job for us. You lose those guys, but if you look at our stats from last year, we had 5 receivers, and all of them were right pretty even on the number of catches they had. So Shane did a great job of distributing the ball. If you go back to 2012, I think Tez had like 90 receptions, and that was because he was a really good receiver, and Elijah had a lot of confidence in him. But Shane did a good job getting the ball to different people. I feel like we'll do the same thing this year, but it's going to be hard to replace a kid like Josh Young and Elijah Anderson and D. Kane.
Yeah, you have a lot of younger kids that are playing well too. One of them is Trail, and I saw his mama TT up at Dotson Days and asked her. I said, "I'm up here to watch him play basketball again." And she said, I'm not letting him play. She said, he's not going to get hurt. Football, he's going to be playing football. So I said, well, I'm darned. So I didn't get to watch him play. But I don't know if Javante played or not. I didn't see him up there. But I know Trail didn't.
And there's another Riley, Jameer. Jameer, Javante, and Trail. Yeah. And, they're going to be outstanding players for us this season, we know. And we can't wait to get it started.
I mean, Jameer and Trail are both sophomores, and both of them played a lot of defense last year. Trail started at corner for us, and Jameer played some in safety. And they're going to have to help us out on the offensive side. We're going to have a situation this year where some kids are going to have to go both ways. And, we try.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that,
And when we try to play fast, that sometimes, you got to get on break. We do want to break them on offense, and they can't come off the field on defense.
One of the things, I guess, the way you all do your two platoon system is in practice it is hard, probably, because you might have both teams going different times, and I guess, I don't know.
Well, the thing, is we try not to let our offensive line, hopefully they don't have to play defense, because those are the guys that really, playing fast have to get lined up and have to go going both ways. It'd be hard on them. But we just feel like playing that up tempo helps us out against teams that may have a lot more talent than us, and plus our kids like it, and we don't huddle, we get up and we go, and hopefully our goal is to get 70+ plays. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But that's the way we
play fast.
Yeah,
play fast.
It makes a difference.
I know.
We spent half our time trying to show the kids how to get in the huddle.
We were trying to stay in the huddle at times to run the clock, shorten the game.
That's what you do. If you played Mojo at Calicut, he'd huddle up and he'd take every second off the clock. And if you got in a situation with him and got behind it, it's hard to beat him.
Coach, I'm a big believer in that a head coach is only as good as his assistant coaches are. And I was very blessed to have great assistants, as I've mentioned earlier, DT and Richie and Larry Curlin and Carol Boyd and Neil Cummins, and it goes on, and Wayne McGowan and Bradley Stallings. And talk a little bit about your staff and what their responsibilities are.
Well, the good thing about our staff is when I got the opportunity to come back here as the head coach in 2006, it's pretty much the same guys that were here that have been with me all along, which is
continuity.
And that's a big thing. You don't have a new guy coming in every year trying to get them to learn how you want to do things. And we got Coach McClung, who does our assistant principal job now, and he's also our defense coordinator and coaches our offensive line. Jeff Riley, who we moved up from the middle school a few years ago, did a great job at our middle school. And Steve Cookiko now is at the middle school as the head coach. And Jeff coaches our defensive line guys and helps out on the offensive line side. Coach Stallings had played quarterback here, and was 1 year away from playing on that state championship team. And he'll mention that about every other day.
Oh, yeah.
And he talks about DT all the time, about how DT coached him. That's why DT needs to come out there and help coach our quarterbacks.
Right.
Well, speaking of quarterbacks, I think you've got some competition going on. And, of course, Shane is the experienced one, but you got a young man coming up that I think will be a sophomore this season. And talk a little bit about that.
Joby Jaggers is, he's come a long ways, and Shane had the year he had last year, and it's been good for Shane to see Joby come along and get the job what he's done this summer. He's had a good fall, and the thing that Joby needs, he wants to get on the field. So when he's not at quarterback getting reps, he's getting reps at receiver.
That's good.
So that helps us as a team to be able to get a kid who, number one, he wants to play. He's out there working his tail off and has done a great job for us.
Well, when you have a kid though that is a quarterback, and he goes in, he's in the ball game as a receiver or whatever, you can switch them real quick. Or when they're on the field, nobody knows anything about it, or he knows what's going on everywhere else. It makes a big difference.
Yeah, we could with the quarterback situation, he knows all the routes, so it's not having to we could put him anywhere on the field we want him, and
that means a lot.
He's got good hands.
We had that situation back in 97 and 98. Stuart Childress was a wide receiver for us, and Bradley Stallings was the quarterback. And then his senior year, Stuart went to quarterback. He knew the system, knew all the routes, and you can't say enough about the experience that he gained at the receiver position to make him that much better at quarterback.
And then he went on to be a quarterback at Murray State.
He did. He sure did. Coach, let's take a short break. We'll come back. We've got Carl Copeland with us. We'll get a few words out of him on Youth Incorporated football and get some sponsors in.
So you're sitting at home, relaxing after a hard day at work. You would like to shop for a vehicle, but simply didn't have the time today. Well, thanks to modern technology and your friends at Trice Hughes, you can pick out the perfect vehicle, get an estimated trade-in value, and even submit a credit application from the comfort of your living room. Visit TriceHughes.com, and in just a few short minutes, you could be on your way to a new car, truck, or SUV. Trice Hughes Incorporated makes it simple to shop from the comfort of your own home. That's TriceHughes.com, Highway 91 North in Princeton. What does your service appointment at Trice Hughes do? Glad you asked. Here at Trice Hughes, we give a true 27-point inspection with each vehicle service. We change your oil, check fluids in your transmission, coolant system, power steering, washing fluid, and brakes. Then we inspect your tires, wiper blades, brakes, air filter, belts, hoses, drive boots, and exhaust system. Shoo, that's a lot. Keeping your vehicle maintained at Trice Hughes in Princeton is your best chance of a long and happy vehicle life. Call today for your appointment, 270-365-5522, Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton. Trice Hughes in Princeton wants to remind everyone that we have a full line of genuine GM and Mopar parts and accessories for your car, truck, or SUV. We also offer Retrax bed covers. You have to see to believe how awesome they are. WeatherTech floor mats are a must for folks with little people and moms and dads that want to keep their entire carpet protected. Make your truck or SUV stand out with chrome accessories such as 20-inch wheels and tires, running boards, mirror covers, and door handles. Need a gift idea? Adding remote start will surely please your loved one. Call Shauna today for all your accessory needs. 270-365-5522. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton.
Back here at 103.3 WPKY, the Tiger, in studio with us. We have David Barnes and Carl Copeland. And next on the topic list, I guess, is Coach Barnes. We know how vital Little League football is to your high school program and middle school and all the way up, to having that good feeder program. And won't you talk a little bit about Youth Incorporated and what it means to you?
Our Youth Incorporated football is what makes us successful, in that the number of kids we get out in youth for the youth league, and the coaches that go out there and work with those kids, and then they go on into middle school, and we've had really good middle school coaches. Coach Kukiko and his group does a great job down there, and then it feeds on up to us. And this morning, Coach Harrelson, who coaches with our middle school team, and Craig Lewis, who played here and has got involved in Youth Incorporated, went and spoke with those elementary kids. The numbers are down in a certain grade level, and we're trying to get those kids to sign up for football. And last year, Tim Kennedy was in charge of our Youth Incorporated. Carl Copeland, who's here with us today, is going to take that over, and that's a big job to come in and do that, and we really appreciate that, because that does help us at the high school level. But we encourage those kids that haven't signed up to get signed up and come out and play football.
Right. And Carl, you are now the commissioner, I guess, of the Youth Incorporated Football League. I can remember back, you was mentioning Youth Incorporated when I first came here. They had 4 teams out here, and DT and I and Richie and Larry Curlin and Carol, we went out and we had to referee on Saturday mornings a lot of times, but just being around them, being out there, and them seeing us, I think really paid dividends down the road for our program. Carl, let's get you next here. And Carl was an outstanding player for us here at Caldwell County. I think he played here from 1999 until 2002. Played linebacker, and he was the all-time leading tackler for a long time. I don't know if that record's been broken or not, but he had an outstanding career at Caldwell County, and we're glad to have you back involved with our youth. And tell us a little bit about your sign-ups and what to expect with Youth Incorporated football this year.
Well, with me just coming on board with Jake and Brad especially, that's who I've normally went through with in contacts. We're just trying to open up our registration a little bit more to get more kids signed up. We was going to have the deadline this Saturday, but I think we're going to open it up a little bit more and extend it just to get more kids signed up for especially the 5th and 6th grade.
How many you got signed up right now?
Right now for the 5th and 6th grade, I believe I'm around 18 to 19 kids. which is kind of low, but with the fall sports, with the baseball going into the fall seasons, that's kind of probably got a couple kids playing baseball. So we're trying to get some more signed up that normally don't play or haven't played for a while. So we're looking at trying to get those kids back into the playing. Like Barnes said, we're the stepping stone for those kids to start playing for him. Had a talk with Barnes last week about what the kids need to do and how they need to practice. One of the main things is that we're not looking for the winners on these Saturdays, but we're looking at the winners on Friday nights. Trying to get the kids ready for Friday nights mainly, not really for the Little League, but just trying to get them ready. I mean, of course, we all want to win, but if we can get them ready for Friday night for Coach Barnes or whoever's in that role. The third and fourth grade, just to talk about those kids, they've really showed up and showed out, I guess you can say. We've got about 34 kids ready to come and play. And we also did something different this year. We even added on to the second grade to bring those on. And the reason we done that is because if you go to Crittenden County and Morganfield and those schools around like that, they've already got the second grades and started. So we don't want to get behind and say, well, we want to wait and get them. So we want to go ahead and get on the forefront of that and get those kids started so they can just get the fundamentals down and start learning at an earlier age.
How many do we still have? 2 teams for each grade? If we got the numbers, we do.
If we have the numbers, we will. Third and fourth grade and the second grade group, they will have 2 teams, of course, with 34 players. The fifth and sixth, we're looking more at it, trying to figure out how we can get more kids to come in to have 2 teams, because it does make it a little bit easier for us. But if not, we will go with the 1 team and just go that route there.
How do they decide who's on what team? I know back when I first started doing that, they used to give us points, and we'd go to this room and sit, and you had to pick your player and this and that, and they'd argue and fight and carry on about who got who, and it was something.
Well, this year, I don't know how they done it last year, but this year I have a kind of plan of my own just to kind of make things a little bit more even. We want to try to just go in, and of course, each coach, if they have a kid playing, they get that kid, and then give them a pick of who's maybe the top 5 players in that league. If they've been playing for a few years, who the good ones are. Right. So we're going to try to divide those up and put them on separate teams. That way we don't have one team stacked.
That's good.
And then we just go from there picking kids. If you don't know them, then we just pick from that one coach back and forth that way there.
Do you have enough help, enough coaches? Are you recruiting them as well, or how are you going about doing that?
Well, this year we have enough coaches. We have actually for the third and fourth grade, we have Chris Enos, who's coached previously, has come back to coach.
Chris played for me. Yeah.
Matthew Wilson, he's coming to coach the third and fourth grade teams and the second grade team. And then on the fifth and sixth, we have Jamie Lee Richardson for the one team, and then Ryan Perry for the other one. So, and they already got their kind of coaching staff, who they want. The parents that's normally helped them in the past. So. I even think Alan Wallington is going to be a big one that come in.
Good.
Matter of fact, over the summer we had a little football league thing that we done, a little just fundamental practice thing that we done. Alan Wallington was over that, so that's going to be a great addition to the coaches for the third and fourth grade team.
I know when I look in the paper and see all those teams and then the coaches on there, almost every one of them played for us.
Yeah, sure did.
Almost every one. That means a lot. If they don't mind giving their time and doing that, that's wonderful.
That's the thing you can say about Caldwell County is the support that you get in all aspects, and you go to a game next Friday night or next Saturday night, we open up against Christian County over in the Jerry Claiborne Bowl. I grant you, Caldwell County will come in droves. That's why a lot of people want to schedule Caldwell County because of the crowd we take and the support that we have. But tell us, Carl, we'll end this thing up here with you, but tell us about the league that you're in and what teams are participating, and when do y'all start play?
We actually start play August the 27th with the preseason scrimmage here. And then after that, it's every Saturday after that. Matter of fact, we hadn't got the schedule. We did something different this year. The refs are going to make the schedule. That way we make sure we have the refs there for those game days. And then after that, with the other teams that's coming in, we've actually added Trice County this year, which is a new one. Morganfield and Union County has kind of combined, so they got one team, just Union County now. So that's good. We've always had to normally go down there in that long drive and play both teams.
There's no way to get there, is there?
Not a good way.
Not a good way. So that's good. And then we also still have Webster County and Crittenden County that's still there. So that's good. Like I say, for the youth Little League football program in general, from county to county, it's going to be real good, because you're going to see a lot of kids that as long as they continue to play in this league, that they'll continue to play each other in high school, unless they move away or something. But a lot of kids get to know each other. I believe I was at a couple games before, and a lot of kids talking with Trail Riley and those guys, they see kids they played whenever they was younger, still playing for Crittenden County and the Webster County. So that's good that they still have that bond and be able to play still in a competitive way on Friday nights.
And Coach Barnes and Coach Gates, it sounds like to me the Little League's got a good leader.
They do. They got an excellent leader. And, Carl, we appreciate you coming in and sharing this time. And once again, sign-ups are tomorrow. From what time to what time?
From 10 to 12 at Butler Parking Lot, and Gary Goodaker will be down there doing those, because it's going to be not only football but cheerleading and baseball also.
And the cost is?
For football, it's $80.
$80 for football.
Yes, sir.
And I know they're having fall softball too, I believe.
Yeah,
and
fall
softball. They're having sign-ups there. And Youth Incorporated just does such a great job with these youth, and we appreciate the work that they did, and we appreciate the work you're going to do. And good luck this season, and we look forward to talking to you again. We'll go to a break right now. We're going to end this segment with Coach Barnes and get some of his final thoughts.
New car and truck buyers, listen up. It's the time of year that the 16s are rolling out and the 17s are rolling in. At Trice Hughes Incorporated, we offer 7 new American car lines to choose from, awesome trade-in allowances, end-of-the-year model rebates, and great financing options. Some people think they have to go out of town for a great deal. We think shopping in Princeton, Kentucky at Trice Hughes Incorporated might just be the best decision you ever make. Give Trice a try before you buy. And as always, if we don't have what you're looking for on our lot, we'll find it for you. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton. It's that time of year again. Soon leaves will be falling, football and deer season is right around the corner. And when those little critters get stirring around, sometimes our vehicles get in their way. Whenever that happens, Trice Hughes Incorporated hopes you remember our body shop to get you back on the road. We offer free estimates, 3-stage paint process that is guaranteed as long as you own your vehicle, and certified technicians that together offer 115 years of combined experience. We keep rental vehicles readily available, so even if your car is out of commission, you don't have to be. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton.
Back here at 103.3 FM, WPKY The Tiger for DT and Gator's talk show, sports talk. Okay, Dennis.
Let me say one thing to Carl before he leaves. I heard it was $80 to play, and that sounds like a lot of money, and it is. And if that's a light bill or a gas bill or something to a lot of families, if you have a child that really wants to play football, don't hesitate to take them down there to sign up. Caldwell County is one of the best places in the world to take care of something like that. So be sure, if you have a child that wants to play, you go down and sign up.
That's very good. Appreciate that. Coach Barnes, we're going to finish up here with you and, again, get some final thoughts from you. And I think you want to talk a little bit about the community support that we've given, and also you want to talk a little bit about your upcoming scrimmage tonight at 6 p.m. at Butler County High School. And you had also a special guest this week.
I'm going to start out with the special guest who you had on the radio show last week, Justin Grooms, who played on the 98 state championship team. He was in town and was on the radio with DT and Pat last week. And Mr. Boyd got to hear him at the Community Disciples and asked him to come speak to our faculty last Monday morning, and he did a super job speaking to us. And Coach McGowan asked him to come speak to our team that afternoon. He came out right before practice and talked to our kids and did an exceptional job. Had a lot of good things to say, and our kids, hopefully, if they paid attention to what he was saying, he talked a whole lot about what this community meant to him as he was growing up and playing football. And had it not been for football, track, and playing basketball, he said he didn't know what he would have done in the community support. But the thing he did say was, in 98, when they left here and went up to the Parkway and that sign said, the last one shut the lights out, he said everybody in Caldwell County was up at the at that time at Louisville at the state championship game, and we were fortunate enough to get back there in 2012, and it was the same thing. So the community support we get for our football team and for our school is by far better than probably a lot of the schools in the state of Kentucky, and we're very fortunate for that support. And in saying that, we want to thank getting the radio station back, and Dan Hughes and Lucinda Gray and Mr. Minute and Miss McEnany, and this radio show does a lot, not only for our football team but for our school. It gets us out there and people listening, and DT's got a list of people that listen from all over the United States to this program, so that does a great job for our school and our community.
Okay. Coach Tomic, you got any final thoughts? Or
Just, I'm excited about watching football.
I am
year.
too.
Last year, I hadn't been going to that many games.
Next week,
when I got out of coaching, I thought, well, I'm going to let somebody else do it for a while. And I really kind of hesitated and didn't want to come out and get my nose in David's business and all that. But
you're more than welcome to do that.
I enjoyed it last year. I did. They had fun playing. You could tell they had fun.
That's the key, is having fun.
And not just because they won, but they had fun. And the coaches even seemed to have fun.
Yes.
If you're not having fun, they're not going to have fun.
One last thing on that season last year, we lost 3 football games, and all 3 of them were in the last few seconds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You take the Mayfield game, the Christian County game. But the Christian County game, our kids, that's when we came together. And, hopefully we'll build on that. We'll build on the fact, you get beat in that last few seconds against E-Town. And, got a lot of those kids back, so hopefully it'll be a great year for us.
We're really excited, and I don't think next Friday and Saturday can get here soon enough. And, of course, I watched my first preseason pro football game last night on the NFL Network, and it's good to have football back after several months of not being able to watch much on TV. And, of course, every Saturday is going to be fulfilled with college football and Sunday with pro football, so we're excited about this. Jordan has handed me a note, and we're going to
carry that here.
You carry, okay. Lady Tigers soccer starts the season this Monday here at home, and WPKY will be broadcasting.
And honestly, I'm not sure if that's the start of the season. Or
it is. I think it is. Fall sports
on.
is going to be in full go starting next week, and one of our guests next week is going to talk a little bit more about the fall sports program at Caldwell County High School. And I know the golf team has already started, and boys and girls soccer and it starts on Monday, I believe, and then we got volleyball starting next week as well. So there's a full slate of events that you can attend here, and we know that you'll come out and support all the athletic teams here at Caldwell County, and we appreciate it.
I'd also like to thank Free Baby for coming by and giving us the thumbs up earlier, and for Jordan for taking care of us here. If we didn't have him here, Gator and I wouldn't be we're not real good anyway, but we'd like to think we are, and appreciate it, Jordan.
We do, Jordan. You do a great job. And Shirley B., I know I got to get a plug in for her. You sponsors, we need advertising. And here around town, I called out a few of them last week, but I don't want to put them on the spot. But, let's keep this radio station going. And if you're out there giving them advertising, then that just makes our job a lot easier. And once again, DT and I are both open to suggestions on, how to make this program better and bigger. And, we've got some guests lined up next week. Of course, with the kickoff of the high school football season, we're going to have in studio Coach Steve Lovelace from the Christian County Colonels, David's opponent, along with him to get a preview of next week's game. And Steve Kukahiko, we're going to have him here to talk about the middle school football program. And you never know who may show up.
We might take some call-ins one of these days, but I do have Jordan. He's going to screen them and hold the name up, and if we don't like you, we're going to be able to not hear you.
That's right. Well, once again,
we'll be cutting out.
That's right. And once again, we want to thank all you viewers and listeners out there, and we look forward to coming to you again next week, next Friday morning at 8 a.m. for Tiger Sports Talk with DT and Gator, and sponsored by Trice Hughes Chevrolet. So we're signing off from now, and we'll see you again next week.
You're listening to your hometown radio station, WPKY 103.3 The Tiger, on translator ID W277CK Princeton.
ABC News. I'm Karen Chase. Baton Rouge is